Jazzcast Pros.
Welcome back, my fellow sleep seekers, to part 2 of our 14-day Sleep Reset Challenge. I'm your host, Soda Kuczkowski, and this is the Doze Podcast, your space for better nights and brighter days. Last week, we kicked off things with days 1 through 7 of our sleep challenge, focusing on building a strong foundation for restful, restorative sleep. And if you've been following along, you've already started to notice improvements. Better energy, less tossing and turning, and maybe even waking up feeling more refreshed. But if you haven't joined us, it's not too late to jump in and to reset your sleep. This week, I'm going to be diving into days 8 through 14, and I'm going to take it up a notch. From exploring advanced features in the SleepSpace app to making mindful lifestyle adjustments, these next steps are really designed to sustain and deepen the progress you've made. So you ready? Let's unlock the secrets to long-term, life-changing sleep. So for moving into week 2, for day 8, I'm going to be talking about personalized sleep coaching. Now, the SleepSpace app has an AI assistant called Dr. Snooze built right into it and provides tailored insights and tips based on your sleep patterns from the past week. And to use it, all you need to do is open up the app and let Dr. Snooze analyze your data. There, you'll be able to review personalized recommendations for improving your sleep and set a goal for the week, whether it's reducing how many times you're waking up, extending your deep sleep, or improving your REM or your REM sleep. And this matters because personalization ensures that you're not just guessing about what's impacting your sleep. You're making data-driven changes for better results. So as I mentioned, I jumped right into the sleep challenge with you. So for me, one of the issues that I was having is I was getting woken up at night because of environmental factors. So my goal over the last 7 days was to stay asleep and avoid waking up unnecessarily when the trains would honk in the middle of the night. And if your wake-ups aren't due to environmental factors, you can check out my episode on the 3 a.m. wake-up so you can discover some of the common causes, things to look for to identify why it may be happening, but most importantly, how to go about fixing it. But like I said, mine was environmental in nature. And can I tell you, I don't use sleep apps all the time. I do recommend them for my clients so that I can get a baseline of their sleep health and look into information like, how long is it taking them to fall asleep? How many times are they waking up throughout the night? If they are snorers or, perhaps they've got pauses in breathing and they might need a sleep study, right? Or their sleep efficiency, like how well overall they're sleeping, but not as an all the time tool, as it can often create issues where they might actually be more focused on their data versus how they actually feel or what they're experiencing. But with that being said, I do use this app when I'm on the road for work and staying in hotels because I like the sound features because it masks out those unfamiliar sounds. And let me tell you, it works like a charm, especially in busier cities. When I was in New York City, this was a complete game changer for me. So I use on a regular an air purifier or, during the summertime, I use an AC unit at home to kind of mask the outdoor sounds so that I don't wake up. But for the last 7 days, I have been using the feature, the dynamic mask with deep sleep simulation on the SleepSpace app, and it is pure magic. Even though I had sounds in my room, this targeted approach with sound really helped keep me asleep deeper and longer. And I haven't had any wake-ups from the trains, my dog, or random, house sounds like the ice machine for the past week. It really made such a difference. I jumped from a sleep efficiency score of like 91% to 99%, which is kind of ironic because it said that I was actually sleeping too well. But for sure, I am going to start using it every single night. Even as someone who speaks about sleep often and advises others of the use of sound, here I am sleeping even better by using specific sound frequencies to help make my sleep even better, especially when there are factors that can arise that I haven't accounted for or honestly are outside of my control. This also shouldn't surprise me as this is what the creator of the app, Dr. Daniel Gartenberg, is known for. He is the sound and sleep specialist. It's the area of focus in his research. I remember when I first opened my company, there was a device that I carried. It was a sound plug device that connected to an app, and I believe it was called the Nightingale. And it never work that well. The company is no longer around, but it also, the fact that it wasn't very cost effective was probably an issue as well, but it never worked as well as using this soundscape on my phone. So for sound, the app is absolutely fantastic. And if you're someone who tends to be a light sleeper, such as myself, it is going to make a huge difference in the quality of how well you're sleeping. And beyond that, it also offers an AI feature that can provide some insights based on your responses. And with the app also, it does have an option to work directly with a coach, including yours truly. So you can dive deeper and gain ongoing support to improve your sleep and to meet your goals. But as I mentioned, it may tell you that you're waking up, but based on the limited questions that it asks, you might not still specifically understand why, which leads me to my next point, which is day 9, tackling sleep disruptions. So this includes issues like snoring, frequent wake-ups, or noise disturbances, and most importantly, if the noise is you, right? If you are someone who actually sleeps alone, you might not even recognize that you are snoring and you're waking yourself up, right? So with this, it has the ability to record it so that you can hear yourself. And as I mentioned, with my own experience, you can monitor environmental factors like pets, external noises, or temperature shifts. And this can also be a great source of information to understand what solutions or tools are needed, right? Like, what soundscape should you use? Do you need to use earplugs, or do you need to adjust your thermostat, right? As a pro tip, reviewing your snore data in the morning and looking for patterns. If your snoring is a persistent issue, this could indicate a more serious concern like sleep apnea. So it might be worth consulting with a professional. While a large majority of people actually are snorers, only 70% of snorers actually have sleep apnea. When it comes to sleep apnea, what we're looking for is those pauses in breathing, right? And this is where if you're using a wearable device in tandem with the SleepSpace app, or, something like an Oura Ring, it can be really helpful to measure changes in your oxygen levels or your heart rate to alert you if there is an issue that needs to be addressed. And I do have an episode on the different types of snorers and to discover, whether or not you, in fact, should look at getting a sleep study. And I'll drop that link in the show notes as well. So don't necessarily rush to products like, mouth taping until you identify what type of snorer you are. Which leads me to day 10, mastering your sleep environment. Now, your bedroom is your sleep sanctuary, and it's all about optimizing and making mindful adjustments. Sleep is also the low-hanging fruit. I always like to emphasize that everything in your sleep space has the ability to either strengthen or disrupt your sleep, right? So you initially want to take the time to evaluate it so you can fix it and then set it and forget it. If you set up your sleep space for sleep success, you don't have to worry if it's a factor. So number 1, making sure that your room is completely dark, using blackout, curtains if necessary, light dims, which are those little Klingons that can block intrusive lights, or just use a sleep mask that blocks it all, right? You want to make sure that leading into bed that you're assessing the light in your home. Amber bed lighting and night lights are really great. And we've created 2 options at the Doze that are the right wavelength to promote a healthy sleep pattern. I have amber lights in my living room and my bedroom. And I also have a dimmer in my bathroom. It all matters, as any outside light that isn't an amber or red tone can send signals to your brain of alertness versus calm and sleepiness. And the right light is important to help your body also produce and release melatonin, that hormone that helps regulate our sleep. Next is the temperature. You always want to make sure that you keep it cool. And of course, this is also going to be trial and error because remember, everything has the ability to trap heat, from what you're wearing to whether there's carpeting, the square footage of your bedroom space, the level that you're on, if you're on a top floor versus a lower level, and all of that can also affect air quality, including humidity. And you can gauge it by tracking it. They sell them at all different price ranges, and it can let you know, do you need to look at changing your cleaning products or opening your windows, or, is it time to dust your bedroom? It'll alert you to the buildup of those invisible sleep disruptors that you can't see, right? but they definitely have an impact on your sleep quality. And I did have an episode where I talk about setting up your sleep space for success, and I'll drop that in the link as well so that you can make sure that your sleep space is set up to work for you. A calm, consistent sleep environment reduces those nighttime interruptions and enhances overall sleep quality. So in that episode, I also offer a bedroom checklist to evaluate yours to find out, is it time for a new pillow? Should you sleep with the door open? There are so many environmental factors, but once you figure out what you need to do, you can, like I say, set it and forget it. Now for day 11, in the first week, I did outline relaxation techniques to prepare your body and mind for sleep and what is available on the app. But the goal this week is to really find a method that works best for you. There are guided meditations in the SleepSpace app, including yoga nidra and body scans. There are different types of breathing exercises like the 4-7-8 breathing technique to calm your nervous system. And doing things like gentle stretches or light yoga can help to release tension. You want to spend at a minimum 10 minutes on a wind down type of activity before bed to make it a core part of your routine. This is especially important if you're not actively engaging in activities on a daily basis to manage your stress. I know I feel like I do, but it can get away from anyone, including me. Sometimes you need that extra exercise to put your physical body in a state of rest. We've all fallen victim to being in a state of chronic stress activation. So I encourage you to try the app features just once and see what a difference it can make, especially during this time of year. As we go into day 12, it is all about self-awareness. With the SleepSpace app, reviewing your data from the past 11 days. So it's not just about tracking it. You want to go back and you want to look at it. Especially, I've been going back on a daily basis so I can compare from the day before. So then you're in the moment and you're able to realize, what factors may be at play. Like, were you more active one day? Did you eat later in the evening? Unless you're paying attention to those things on a daily basis, you don't realize how much of an impact it can have, right? So you want to look at your sleep trends. Do you find that you're getting more deep sleep or more, REM sleep? Are your disruptions decreasing, right? Or were they increased by something? Compare how you feel in the morning, now versus day one. And use the journal feature, right? To document any type of noticeable changes from your energy levels, your mood, your focus. But most importantly, I want you to take the time to celebrate the wins. I can't tell you how excited I was because I've been having trouble with this for a while. Now, I always get enough sleep. I make sure that I prioritize it. I put time aside. But like I said, when it came to environmental factors that would wake me up, right, other than going to bed a little bit earlier to kind of offset those nighttime interruptions, so I was still getting enough sleep, but it was still messing with me, right? So now using those soundscapes is going to be the solution that I needed in order to alleviate that problem. So you don't know until you try it, right? So this reflection helps you to fine tune your approach for the final 2 days and beyond. It isn't enough to track. You have to look at the data and notice the changes, especially what is improved. So for me, right, it was preventing those trains from waking me up. So you know what to do if you fall off course again, because of course we all do. And as we approach, the end of the challenge, I want you to think about, the different changes that can be part of your routine in the new year. And this is going to be with setting sleep-related resolutions, such as sticking to a consistent bedtime or making your wind-down routine a non-negotiable. I want you to reflect on improvements made and set sleep goals for the upcoming year to maintain and enhance your sleep health. Utilize the app's tracking features to monitor progress and to stay motivated. And I would love it if you would share your progress with a friend, a family member, or on social media. And you can use the hashtag #TheDozeChallenge because accountability really helps us to stick to things, right? So with this step, it's all about transitioning from a 14-day challenge to a lifestyle change and to building healthier sleep habits, which brings me to our last day, which is long-term sleep habits. If you have made it this far in the challenge, congratulations, because today is about sustaining the progress that you've made. And you have to do that by planning, right? So number one, I want you to commit to continuing the habits that work best for you, like using the circadian optimizer, right? That alarm clock, or prioritizing your wind down routine, or keeping your bedroom cool and dark. I want you to think about scheduling a monthly check-in with the SleepSpace app to review your data and to set new goals, right? And if you feel like you can't do this every single month, every 90 days is a great kind of, something that I do for myself to check in. And reflect on your journey and think about how these changes have impacted your energy, your mood, and your productivity. Remember, sleep isn't a one-time fix. It's an ongoing process of care and adjustments. Life is a series of ebbs and flows. Things will always cause ripples in your life, but with these tools and insights, you're going to be well equipped for a lifetime of better rest. And that completes our 14-day sleep reset challenge. You have taken important steps over the past 2 weeks to reclaim your sleep and transform your nights into a source of energy and renewal. And if you're feeling the benefits, don't stop here. Keep going. Use the SleepSpace app, revisit your sleep diary, and continue refining your sleep habits. Remember, small, consistent changes lead to big results. And if you sign up for the subscription, you can use it to track your sleep and use the features the whole year through. I would love to hear about your experiences, so please drop your comments below. And if you know someone who could benefit from better sleep, share this episode with them. It doesn't have to be a new year to prioritize your sleep. Every day is an opportunity for a fresh start. So until next time, sleep well, dream big, and here's to brighter days ahead. Cheers to a happier and healthier 2025.